What is going on, guys? My name is Lextasy and welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming again to watch another one of my videos. If you are new to the channel, we are a car racing channel. We build cars, we break cars, we fix them and repeat every single week, or about every other week or so. We're also doing a 1,000 horsepower build on this Ford F-150, gonna be running 8.25 miles hopefully. So if it's stuff like that that you like, definitely subscribe down below. If you joined because of this story, I have a lot more stories like these coming. So for anyone that's new to the channel or doesn't follow me on Instagram, I work full-time. I have a full-time job, but I also own 3 to 4 different businesses on the side as well. And one of these businesses is car rentals, luxury car rentals. So whenever you've done, hundreds of reservations, not every renter is an angel. Not every renter takes care of your vehicles. Not every renter follows the rules. So one of these renters is what the story is about today, where they stole my BMW X5. So let's get this video going. Alrighty guys, I hope you're ready because this one is really juicy, man. So like I said, we are a car rental business. It's called Royalty Auto Rentals. We have a ton of vehicles ranging from cheap little sedans and SUVs to luxury sedans like BMWs, Range Rovers, to sports cars and exotic vehicles as well, like an R8 and Corvette Z06, stuff like that. So we specialize in everything. We do it all. And most of our reservations, of course, come from directly our website, but we do use Turo once in a while to be kind of like the broker and get our reservations from different renters that way as well, to make it easier on us and bring in more business. I have so many stories to tell. After doing hundreds of reservations, this story, then we got some of the R8 getting wrapped, to the Corvette being impounded and then joyridden by police officers. So there's a lot that happens whenever you deal in this business, guys. There's so many things that you think you can account for, but you just can't think of every worst situation that can happen. Luckily, we were ready for this one in pretty much every way possible. So of course, to protect the privacy of the renter, I'm not gonna disclose any locations, names, nothing like that, really, for the most part, where it took down or where it went down or what happened. But so for you to understand the story the best you can, I'm going to show, since we have trackers on every vehicle, I'm going to show you the actual GPS navigation, where it went, tracking, what happened, so you can kind of see step by step as to what really went down on July 27, 2021. There was a renter. So this happened, like I said, July 27th, which I think was like a Wednesday or Thursday, I don't remember. But this renter wanted to pick up our 2018 BMW X5, super nice loaded vehicle, really nice white with tan interior. Love that car. It's one of my favorites. Got a ton of power. It looks really good, low mileage and all. So she wanted it placed or picked up or delivered to her at 5 in the morning on the 27th of July. So normally anything before 8 o'clock and after 7 p.m. I handle, or at that time I did have an employee that worked for me and did all deliveries while I was at work working full time. But in this case, me and my family had a one-day trip, kind of vacation trip planned. So for me, my kids, my wife, and then my mom and my sister to kind of get away from the town and go to the beach for a day, So we decided, I texted my employee, told him, hey, just handle this 5 a.m. pickup or delivery, and then just pick it up the next day at 5 a.m. I might not be there on time, depending how long this trip lasts. So this was, like I said, July 27th is when the delivery was supposed to happen. I took off for the vacation trip July 26th, the day before we left after work. So me and my family get to our destination at the hotel, and then on July 27th, I have arrived at the hotel. We woke up already. We're about to go eat breakfast. And, once in a while, every morning, I do check on all my vehicles because, like I said, they do have trackers. I mean, every common sense, genius, smart person or not so smart person knows to put a tracker on your $120,000 R8 or your $20,000 Camry. It does not matter. Everything needs to be tracked because, I'll be honest with you guys, every renter lies. There's literally, I mean, the amount of people that tell me, hey, I'm running late because I'm at the gas station, when they're truly still driving or they're at the store shopping is unbelievable. They're stuck in traffic when they haven't even left the house. It's just like a normal, I would say every other day, this lies are happening. So having trackers really does help. It's not like we just keep track of where they're going and things like that. But when it comes down to, the reservation ending and the vehicle is not there or not nowhere near, we can kind of send like a heads up message like, hey, just letting you know, it's doing 30 minutes. Or for the renter safety as well, in case something, God forbid, happens and the car gets stolen, they get robbed, something happens, we can track it down and resolve the situation peacefully in the quickest way possible and safely, of course. So let's come up up with a name for this lady because of course I don't want to tell you her name and I quite honestly don't even remember it, but let's call her Emily. So Emily's her name. So she is an elderly lady in her 50s, and yeah, we're supposed to deliver this car to her at 5 in the morning, and she's supposed to bring it back the next day. It's a 24-hour rental. 200 miles is what's allowed on every rental daily. And so yeah, I wake up in the morning at the hotel on the 27th, so the reservation already supposed to have started by now. So me and my wife wake up and we're heading to get breakfast, and she's like, hey, there is no reservation shown for this BMW. I was like, what are you talking about? Because my employee already sent me a picture of her driver's license, which we get every time to, you know, check the identity, make sure that is the correct person renting the vehicle. She's like, yeah, the reservation has been canceled. And I was like, how is that even possible? What do you mean canceled? So I look on the tracker and I see she is booking it out of Asheville or Fletcher, North Carolina. She's heading on I-26, you know, eastbound. So I'm like, where's this vehicle heading out of town if it's not being reserved right now? It's not being rented at all because clearly she canceled the reservation. So something about Turo that you guys need to know, if anybody that does it or knows about it. Basically, whenever the trip is supposed to start, it is up to the host to click start reservation, and it's also up to the renter to make sure they are, you know, starting the reservation on their end. So what happened in this case was, since the reservation was so early in the morning, at 5 in the morning, I always you know, press the start reservation as soon as the time comes up and I receive the driver's license picture from my employee. But in this case, I was sleeping, so when I woke up at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, I realized I never pressed start, so she was able to cancel this reservation. And so it's not like it happened by accident because, you know, I didn't start the reservation on time. She literally canceled it because it says the renter has canceled, you know, Emily canceled the trip. And so at this point, I am freaking out because this was right in the first 2 months of doing this, you know, and it's an expensive car. It's a $60,000 BMW. So I am blowing up her phone, right? First, I call my employee. I'm like, hey man, you did drop off the vehicle, right? It's like, yeah, I mean, I sent you the picture of the driver's license. Yeah, she took it. She was happy. She said she needs it for a day. She'll be back. And so I am at this point freaking out, man. So I am calling her, no answer, calling her, no answer. From my phone, she never picked up because it's the same phone that is connected to my reservation as the host on my Turo app, so she can see who's calling and see that it's the same number, because she did not respond to any of the messages on the Turo app as well. So I finally called from my wife's number, which she doesn't have, and she picked up. I mean, like the first ring, she picks up. It's like, hey, this is Emily. Like, hey Emily, this is Alex. I have you have my reservation. You have my BMW you driving, and you canceled the trip on it. And she's like, what are you talking about? I didn't do anything like that. There's no way. No, I'm driving the car right now. And I was like, okay, are you still in Asheville? Maybe we can get this resolved. And she's like, yeah, no, I'm still in Asheville. Yeah, I'm still there. But yeah, I mean, what could possibly be going on? And I was like, you know, I don't know. I mean, the reservation is canceled. So technically, you're not supposed to have possession of that vehicle right now. There's nothing tying you to this vehicle right now. You're not supposed to be driving it. If something happens, you're literally not covered. I'm not covered on insurance wise. So we need to figure this out. So she's like, oh my God, yeah, I'm pulling over. And I was like, okay, so are you driving right now? I was like, yeah. Well, actually, I'm heading to Columbia, South Carolina to visit a friend, but I'll be right back. And I'm like, okay, mileage wise, it should be decent. You know, it's about a 2.5 hour drive from Asheville. So she's like, oh yes, I'll pull over right now. I'll get this figured out. I will get this handled. So she gets off the phone, and I do truly see her on the tracker, like pull over on the side of the gas station. And she was there for a good 15, 20, 30 minutes. And then she gets back on the road and she messaged me and she says, yeah, everything is fine. So about 15 to 20 minutes pass by, and you know, at this point I see that she was pulled over at the gas station, but she's moving again. And so I messaged her at 9:23 a.m. I was like, please let me know once it's resolved. Thank you. My apologies for the frantic phone call, because I mean, you do have my $60,000 BMW. And so she said, I called, they said it's fine. I was like, okay, so you know, I'm thinking it usually will take her a few minutes to get this resolved. Everything should go back to how it was. And then about an hour passes, and I'm like, and I tell her, I was like, okay, see you tomorrow at 6 a.m. And she's like, okay. So an hour passes, nothing is getting fixed. Nobody has fixed it. It's not reinstated, nothing like that, because she said she was just going to reinstate the trip. I mean, clearly, you know, she didn't mean to do whatever happened. And so an hour passes, and I called her. I'm like, hey, so-and-so renter has my car, canceled the trip, said she called you guys to fix it, and it should be back. You know, she should have it, because she's in the car right now. I mean, she is booking it on 26 right now, eastbound. And at this point, she's a good about, I would say, 2 hours away from Asheville. So she's been booking it all morning. And Turo's like, unfortunately, that is not something we can do. We can't just reinstate a trip. She has to start the trip back up. She has to start a new trip. And I was like, oh, heck no. I mean, she literally knows what she's doing. She didn't call nobody. She just decided she's just going to keep this car and get a free trip out of it. So I knew what was going to happen, especially with the high mileage she's going to put on the car. So I called her, no response, multiple times. And that's when I texted her. I said, hey, I spoke to Turo. I need to start a new reservation. They cannot reinstate the canceled trip. And then a few minutes passed, nothing. So then I was like, let me know once the new reservation confrontation is done, thanks, nothing. Please start a new trip ASAP or we'll need the car back immediately, nothing. And then please return the vehicle immediately. So this is within, I would say, 30 to 45 minutes. And then the next message, nothing, right? So I call her multiple times. Like, I am blowing up her phone, nothing. Like, she's not answering, she's not even trying to pick it up. I think I called like 5 or 6 times. So at this point, it's around lunchtime, right? So we're supposed to be at the beach, just relaxing, chilling. And so we are there, but like, I can't get this out of my mind that some lady has my car and literally she drove past Columbia at this point. So she's not going to Columbia. She lied about that already, clearly. And so she's driving past Columbia, heading towards, I think Charleston is the next city. And so at this point, we're at the beach around lunchtime or so. And it's actually like we're there for an hour and it starts just straight. Looks like storm is coming. The wind is blowing. It's just not good to be there with kids or anything like that. So at this point, we're like, man, screw it. I mean, there's no point in staying this. And you know what? She's actually coming towards us because we were in Charleston at the time of this. Like, I don't know how this could have been any better, but we were in Charleston for a beach trip for that one day. Like, literally just get away for a day, get to see the sun because it's only about 4 hours from where I live and we'll be back the same day, you know? So we're in Charleston and she's clearly coming to Charleston. So at this point, I'm like, oh, heck no. So we pile into the car. I am in my tank top. I'm in swimming trunks. I mean, we just got out of the beach with all our Sandy stuff. We're in this big blacked out Yukon 2021, sick little car, shaded, like it's just black. It looks menacing on the road. So we're in this vehicle, my mom, my sister, kids, my wife, everybody. And I'm like, babe, I gotta get my car back. I mean, this couldn't have been any better. She's literally coming to me. So she thinks like, hey, cancel the trip by the time they realize I'm gonna go to Charleston, do what I need to do, and I'll be back because ain't nobody gonna chase me for 4 hours away. If I tell them like, oh, I don't know what happened, I'm coming back, you know, and just get away with the free trip on a $60,000 BMW and get unlimited mileage because there's no way to charge her if there's no trip happening. So at this point, I'm calling to her. I'm like, hey, I just want to make sure you realize like she has my car. She hasn't started anything. What do I do? They're like, oh, we're going to escalate it. We got to send it to 3 different departments. They'll get back to you. I was like, no. I'm not waiting for you guys to get back to me. What do I do in this situation? This is my car, right? Legally, I have every right to go get it, correct? They're like, well, yeah, it's your vehicle. I mean, you rent it out. So yeah, you can do whatever you want. It's under your business name. So I was like, okay. So at this point, I knew, I mean, literally it's in my hands to pretty much repo my car back from a lady that literally just decided to get a free trip out of it. She literally stole the car. I could file a police report if I wanted to. So at this point, we'll pile in the car and the address on her driver's license wasn't Charleston, but it was in North Charleston. So I'm like, okay, I see the license. She's clearly coming to Charleston. We book it there. We get to the apartments or whatever, and I'm realizing, okay, she's coming to, there's a highway that kind of loops around Charleston, goes from north to south. She gets on the highway and goes south. I was like, oh my gosh, she's not even coming to this address. So we're a good probably 20, 30 minutes away from where she's at that point. And so I'm in this Yukon just booking it. So I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to chase her. I mean, it refreshes every 10, 15, 30 seconds. I can see exactly where she's going. So I'm just going to follow her. At the first moment she stops and jumping in that car, I'm not getting out. You got to realize like this situation, like I don't know who she is. It could probably not even be her. That's why she's coming up with these excuses and acting like she's in the car, but she gave it to somebody else and they're driving it. I don't know who else is with her in that car. I really don't know anything about the situation, but I know I got a $60,000 car that needs to be taken back before the day is over, and then who knows where she goes. She could be hitting Charleston, going to Florida or somewhere else. So she takes us south on heading south Charleston, and I'm slowly catching up to her. In the traffic, everything, it's about like 1 p.m. or so, and I'm booking it. I'm catching up. She stops at this gas station across from a hospital. I don't remember the exact one, but you should be able to see the photos of it. And so at this point, she's there for about 15 minutes. So I'm only like 5 minutes away from her when she finally starts moving, because I was already playing like, okay, she's at the gas station. She's probably not in the car. I'm gonna hop in the car. I don't have a key. Hopefully she gives me the key. If not, I'm just gonna sit in it until somebody comes gets it, whether a tow truck, whatever. I'll tow it back to Asheville. I don't care if it's 4 hours and 200 miles. I'm gonna make it happen. And so I'm booking it. I'm getting close, about 3 minutes away, and she starts moving again. I was like, oh my God, where are you going? At this point, she's taking like these dodgy back roads, not on the highway, nothing like that. She's on the back roads now. So every time it refreshes, like the map refreshes, she was here. As I'm pulling up, she refreshes again, she's somewhere else. So I'm like, every time I'm catching up, I'm seconds away from her at this point. And at one moment, I missed a turn because she went into the subdivision. And so by the time I bust the U-turn and I get back to that subdivision, it's a nice place, like nice neighborhood, nothing wrong with it. Doesn't look sketchy, doesn't look like, you know, I was like, okay, I mean, I feel a little better. Houses look, you know, decent. So it's not like anything could go really wrong. If it does, I'm pretty sure I could yell and somebody can come and help me. So as I'm coming around the corner, I'll never forget it. I'm wired. I'm pumped up right now. I'm pissed off because this lady knows what she's doing. She's clearly taking advantage of the situation. I'm not letting this car go. I don't give a crap. This business coming back with me. So there is a video of me actually, as we pull up to this driveway, I see that she took the BMW and she like backed it into up towards her garage next to this old Jeep. And so I'm like, okay, there's my car. So I'm whipping it around. I'm like, babe, as soon as I get there, I am blocking this car in. You're hopping the driver's side. Get out. Just go. Don't worry about me. I'll figure this out. I mean, I don't want my kids, anybody around here. I just needed a ride there. She's like, I'm not going. I was like, oh no. I was like, babe, you need to leave. And so she's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving you here in the middle of who knows where and with who knows who. So I'm like, okay, screw up. Just lock the doors. I mean, it's the first sign of anything, freaking run. Go. Just take off. So I pull this blacked out Yukon and I block this BMW in and I hop out. And so my wife runs around. She gets in the driver's side, locks everything, and I'm walking. I'm in my tank top. I look like I just literally took a dip in the pool or a beach. I'm like, hey, Emily, my name's Alex and that's my BMW that you stole. And this like, I can't make this up. Like, this was so perfect. And I wish I had a camera on me because I should have probably for safety reasons. But she's like, she's sitting back, right? She's in the back of her garage. The garage is empty. She's smoking a cigarette and she's just on her phone. Like, she's just scrolling through, looking, smoking a cigarette. Everything is fine. And then she sees this dude just straight up walking at her. And the look on her eyes when I was like, hey, Emily, my name's Alex and that's my car you stole. Like, the biggest wide eyes I've ever seen. And she like drops the cigarette, like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. Like, where did you come? Who are you? Like, what are you doing at my house? I was like, yeah, I mean, we have trackers on every vehicle. You stole my car. So are you going to get your stuff out or how are we doing this? I'm like, the way I'm talking right now is how I was talking to her. I was not going to play games. This is my car that you stole. I'm going to take it back. And so she's like, wait a minute. Like, I have all my stuff in there. How did you get here? How do you know where I live? Like, how are you here so fast? I was like, that doesn't matter, does it? I was like, luckily I was in the area and you screwed up because you drove straight to me. It's like, oh my God, you need to give me a minute. You need to step outside. You need to give me a minute. So I'm like standing right next to her. I'm like, okay. I jumped straight into the BMW, grabbed the key out. It was in there and I see all her stuff is in there. I was like, you need help get this out or how we're doing this? Because you're not taking the car. She's like, oh my God, I'm calling Tara right now. We're going to figure this out. This is ridiculous. You're scaring me. I'm having a heart attack. Why are you even at my house right now? I was like, that literally does not matter. The question is why you have my car. Well, I don't pick up a phone whenever I drive because I was like, I called you so many times. I texted you. Well, I don't look at my phone when I drive. I was like, okay, well, you were sitting in the garage smoking a cigarette looking at your phone. You could have responded then. You've been here for a little bit. I know you've seen my text messages. The story about her is she's a traveling nurse, right? So she, I guess, lives in Charleston and she was in Asheville working at the hospital. So she decided she was moving her stuff to Asheville. So she was using the car to just get her stuff in there and then head straight back to Asheville. So she literally wanted to get a free trip and 400 miles on my X5, which would have costed her over mileage is probably an extra $150 on just mileage alone in that, 24 hours that she owned it. So she didn't want to pay it clearly, plus all the fees on top of it. So she's calling Turo and Turo, she's trying to like cry and throw this like symphony thing. Like it's, she's just emotionally distressed and she has no idea I'm not falling for it. I mean, it's always like the people you least expect. This elderly little 50-year-old lady knows exactly what she's doing. You can't play dumb with me. You picked up the phone on me. It's not like you picked it up, called Turo and called me back like, hey, is everything resolved? Am I okay to drive? No, you said, okay, you texted me and said, hey, we're good. That's it. You knew it wasn't good. You didn't call nobody. And so Turo tells her like, yeah, you need to give him the keys back. It's not your car. You're not supposed to have it. And in our system, it shows that you canceled the trip. So legally, you're kicked off the platform first off, but second off, he needs to get those keys or he can call the police if he wanted to. And so she hangs up because clearly that got her nowhere. And so she's like, please, I'll Venmo you. I'll Zelle you. I'll do anything. I got to get back to my, she sent me a text when I was leaving, but she's like, I got a puppy at the house. Please, like, I need to get back to Asheville. I was like, it's not my problem. Like, I'm sorry that you have a puppy there. You probably have people that, you live with or know you that can help you out there. But the fact is you're not having my car again and then paying me Zelle. I don't even know if that's going to clear. I mean, you're not taking my car back, period, because there's no insurance on it whatsoever. So she finally, her son wakes up like half asleep and I was like, I mean, this dude looks pretty big, man. So he gets out and I was like, he's like, man, what's going on? I was like, dude, your mom literally tried to get a free ride on the BMW. She rented and canceled the trip. And he's like, I'm not getting involved. So he stood on the side. He's like, man, mom, you deal with this. So yeah, she got her stuff out. And then at this time, my worker calls me, my employee, and he's like, hey man, real quick. So when I was delivering the car, I had my wallet with me and I put it on the driver's side door. Can you see if it's there? And I'm like, yeah, it's there. It's like, what about there should be like $242 or $282 in there. Can you see if it's in there? I was like, bro, you got $82. That's all you got. There is no 200 there, period. He's like, dude, that was in there. I was like, yeah, well, unfortunately it's gone, so, and it's cash. So it's not like I can file a police report because it's he say, she say. So nothing I could do about that. So she clearly stole the money, tried to get a free ride at me. So I took the BMW, had to drive 2 cars back to Asheville. But like the fact that I was in Charleston and she came to me, because if it wasn't like that, I mean, there's literally nothing I could do. If I was working that day, I would have to wait till I get off at 7 and then hope that I'm 4 hours behind her now to try to catch up and steal my car back. Because if it wasn't for the trackers, I would have no idea where that vehicle is. It could be in Tennessee, it could be in New York already. I would have no idea because she would have at least 10 hours ahead of me before I get off work. So that situation just worked out the best it possibly could. Like I said, it's not every renter that is just a horrible person. We have some that literally don't even put any miles on them and bring them right back, or take extremely good care. They wash it, they even vacuum it after the fact, and don't have 3 kids in there. Or we'll have one person that had it for literally a day and is just straight trashed. It's like, I don't know where you went off-roading or what you did, or they'll destroy our vehicles. Like, they'll back into stuff and play it off like nothing. It's just, it's always random. But like, that is the worst situations when someone lies to you. I mean, if she could be honest, like, look, man, I apologize, it happened. Like, I mean, I would still tell her bring the car back, but it's just like trying to lie to cover up a lie. That's when it just really escalates, and it does not help your situation. So for anybody that rents cars, I mean, Enterprise and stuff is pretty sure they're a little bit more lenient because they have, thousands of vehicles. I don't, and every vehicle is my baby, and every vehicle counts to me, and I'm here to make money on them. So yeah, guys, that was insane situation. Put yourself in those shoes where you have a $60,000 car that disappeared. Just literally cancel the trip. That's it. It's like, it's on you. Turo literally says it's on you because the trip is not active. There's nothing we can do for you. We don't want to have anything to do with that situation, honestly, at this point. So it's up to you to figure out where it is. Luckily, I have multiple trackers on every vehicle, so if one was to get disabled, I have a few more hidden everywhere. So that's the story, guys. If you like what you heard, drop a like, drop a comment. Next story will be even more crazier. Probably I'll tell you the one with the Corvette getting impounded and then test driven or joy ridden by the police. That's insane. A lot of people involved in that one, and the RA got hit at that point as well. So there's a lot of stuff that happened, a lot of stories I want to tell you. If I get good response from this, guys, I need to know. So comment down below if you like this kind of stories, if you want to see more. Drop a like as well. That tells me you want more of this on the channel. I have a lot of stories. Like I said, I own a lot of businesses, but the most important thing, and the thing that we really focus on this channel, is building our vehicles. Yes, this is a truck. Don't let it fool you. That sucker can run. It's gonna have over 1,000 horsepower in the next few weeks already. It's fast. It's way faster than this G-Wagon. It's way faster than any other car I have, and it's gonna blow your mind, guys. So if you like stuff like that, if you want random stories as well thrown in there, just so I can have a little more extra content and more things to tell you guys, I'll be more than happy to share. But if you like what you're seeing, like I said, definitely drop a like, support this channel, let us grow. That way we can continue providing this awesome content for you. But thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy your lives, enjoy your cars. Please take care of your reservation vehicles if you ever rent one out. It's very important so the next person can enjoy as well. But thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Peace.